And welcome back, everybody, to Border Kingdoms Adventures. And welcome back, everybody, to Border Kingdoms Adventures. Now I'll actually mute my Twitch window that I'm watching so that I don't have an echo coming through my ear. There we go. So, with that, now that I fixed that problem, that's what happens when you watch Twitch when you're not streaming, is that you forget that you left the thing on. All right, tonight we are back in Tal'Dorei with our Tal'Dorei campaign, our second of our two Tal'Dorei Reborn campaigns, Tal'Dorei South, otherwise known as the one near Zephyra, dealing with the areas around where Keyleth now resides. But before we get into that tonight, because this is Border Kingdoms Adventures, it is officially, unofficially brought to you by Liquid Death. And we are going with the Rest in Peach because I'm out of Dead Billionaire. A little ASMR here for us here. There we go. Death to Plastic. And just a wee bit of caffeine for me for tonight. So, with that, when we last left off, the group had gone around with their newfound companions, the Goblin Scouts that led them to Zephyra, the Goliath uh, guards, and the Druid from the Arashari that has traveled along with you to take part in this little excursion on the lake, as well as the three uh, teenage goblins that have joined you from the settlement that have now come into their own as adventurers, as each of you took took on the role of leading one of the goblins into a life of an adventurer. So one has chosen to mimic the abilities of your rogue companion and take on the life of a dexterous scouty type hero. One has gone the martial route and has learned to become a bit of a fighter type, and one has taken up the teachings of magic and has begun to take on the initial instances of spell casting. Uh, so you will you will now see, for those of you that are players and are looking into the section on the campaign on D&D Beyond, we do in fact have character sheets for each of the three kids, um, and I have got character sheets for your other companions, namely Kira the Druid, uh, Rock the Goliath warrior, and yeah, and your goblin buddy there. So, um, for each of you that are in the campaign now, or for each of you that I believe several of you offered to take on the roles for the goblin children. So let's go ahead and let's see, Cheryl, you were going to claim one of them, I think.
I guess Strauss, the archer.
Okay. Um, and then anybody else willing to take on the rogue teen and the wizard teen?
I will take on the rogue.
Makes sense.
Stacy and Arabella are co-parenting Trix, the spellcaster.
All right, which one of you is going to be taking care of the character sheet? And that,
Oh God, not me.
I think you just
I was
got
going to say
volunteered.
not me. I think we both said not me at the same time.
All right. So then
Sure, I'll take it.
All right.
Awesome.
Where do we do that?
If you go into the campaign on D&D Beyond and you claim the unclaimed character sheet. It'll be right at the bottom. Excuse me. Goodness.
Um,
I guess in a way now we
bottom
are
of where?
players.
Inside of D&D Beyond, if you go into my campaigns, you should see the Pizza Reborn campaign.
How do I get into your campaign?
Go in.
Oh, campaign beats a reborn.
Yep, there you go.
Okay.
Now go to View Campaign. And
Let's
then
see here.
at the bottom, unassigned
Okay.
characters, you will see Tricks, level 1 Goblin Wizard. Just hit the little flag to claim.
I don't have any little flags to claim, but I'll look at it.
If you look at it, it'll say View, Edit, Claim, and More.
It says view.
All right. Okay. I don't know if I can. This will screw up our thing if I share my screen to show you what I'm looking at. All right, so you've got all of the active characters, and then you see the section that says unassigned characters.
Yep, it
correct?
says Tricks level 1 Goblin Wizard unassigned, view user profile, and view.
Are you signed in?
Yes?
Haley's got it up.
I mean, it's probably because I already have 6 characters in my D&D Beyond profile.
Okay, that would be why. Well, never mind then. I will just use it. Yes, if you only have the standard 6 available to you, then yes, you cannot claim it then. Probably.
Okay. I can still view it though. So, let's see here.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can open 2 at once.
Oh, you should be able to open up 2 different windows and have both of them going.
Can Tricks roll an investigation check?
Yes, she did.
Stacy rolled an investigation check.
Well, Stacy, because that's how
subtext.
you're logged in, but if you see it says Tricks
Yeah.
underneath it.
Yeah.
So that's how it's going to go. There's no other way to do that.
Okay.
All right. Cool. We are
Yeah,
all
sorry
set
about that.
then.
I don't pay for a D&D Beyond subscription because I think it's silly to pay for a subscription and pay money to buy the books. So it's one or the other.
Okay. So, anyways, we are set to go here. Where is the thing? There it is. All right. So with that,
I didn't realize I was muted that whole time. I've claimed it so that one of us has it. And I can give it back to you guys later if you want.
Tricks?
Or yeah.
You can run Tricks, that's fine.
Oh, okay. I am your child now, I guess.
Okay.
all right.
Yes, we're gonna learn how to knit.
So when last we left, you had split up the loot that you had gotten, except for the 10 blue moonstone pendants, and the magical trident. So, surprisingly, somehow your Harangon friend appears on the ship because she was apparently there the whole time. It's kind of like those. It's kind of like those 2 that are in Pitch Perfect, and we've literally been here the entire time. I'm sorry, I
We've
just can't tell.
been here the whole time.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we just can't tell the difference between either one of you. We've literally
She
been
was
here.
down in the galley. She found some carrots and
Yeah.
and comes up munching one,
Had a
going, "Hey
little
guys,
snack.
what's up?
Had a little nap.
Yep. So.
Hey guys, what I miss?"
And yeah, you take your rest throughout the evening. The the blood hunter that you were traveling with, Perrin Brill, suggests going into the middle section of the lake, the ring two, as it were, to anchor, just for safety's sake, because anchoring in a hostile part of the lake is probably a bad idea. At the very least, it will not be a very restful evening. So, excuse me again. You take anchor and you spend the evening resting up. You all wake refreshed, feeling somewhat stronger, as you have all leveled up from 4 to 5, and set to take on the world, as it were. So,
Does Trix also level up? Did the goblins level up
no, they got a
to
level.
2?
They
Oh, okay.
They're now level 1.
they're
Yeah,
now
they
level
previously
1.
had no levels.
They were goblin commoners that you took out onto the lake, potentially facing the likes of a hag.
Yeah, Trix had no magic, and we were like, "This is a spell book. Stacy's gonna teach you how to find a familiar.
Yep.
The barbarian will instruct you in magic."
He looted it off one of the bodies that we have all over the deck.
Yep. Pretty much. Pretty much. So, you get up in the morning, and what is your first order of business? What does the crew of the SS Minnow here wish to do?
B would like to see if Blast can pickpocket. Like, pick a random person on board and see if she can loot something.
You
I mean,
sure
she
they
is
won't get
learning.
mad at me? I mean, that seems like something you shouldn't do to your friends, right?
See if she can pickpocket B.
So what you're saying is you want me to pickpocket you at some point without you noticing.
If you can.
Well, if you said so, I guess that's okay. And so she'll go about her business and wait for you to be not looking, and then she will attempt to pick your pocket.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check from her. Well, she not only does she pick your pocket, but she picks your pocket of Whisper.
Oh dear.
She has stolen your favorite dagger.
Don't I get to see if I notice that?
It goes off your passive perception. Although, you know what, I'll let you go ahead and make a perception roll to see if you can see that. Nope, not a clue.
I am so proud I taught her everything she knows. Now give it back, you little brat.
Now give it back to me, you little piece of crap.
Give it back, you little twit. Really good though.
Been practicing. What can I say? I learned it by watching you.
Stayed up all night walking a coin over her fingers just so they'd be limber.
Yep.
Yeah,
Doing that Val Kilmer
10
from Real Genius.
Yep, that was Val Kilmer just doing that throughout the whole movie. The 10 pendants, they're just pendants? Do we want to
They are.
look at them in a magical kind of a way?
You did, and they're not magical. They are not
Yeah,
magical.
that's a
They're
The only thing we looked at that was magical was the trident, and
Correct.
we have to have an identify on that.
correct.
Okay. And does anybody feel strongly about taking the trident?
We discussed that at the end of last session, and nobody really utilizes martial weapons, except for Stacy, who has a maul. She is a
Yeah,
two-handed
Stacy likes
fighter.
a giant hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, I
You
use
can-
martial weapons. I just use Dex martial weapons.
Yes.
We were gonna keep it, have it identified, and then potentially sell it.
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
If
at least
it's
we can-
identified as something that's super useful, Stacy will think about using it and keeping it. But
I
right
mean,
now,
yeah,
the
if they're, like,
giant
lightning
hammer pretty
powers
much
or-
covers every situation. Door in the
Yeah.
way, giant hammer. Guy stealing your stuff, giant hammer. Like,
if it's not broke,
You
giant
know,
hammer.
if you have a thing that needs a scalpel, don't call Stacy. Is what she's saying.
Stacy
Apparently,
can
you can
also
call
use a
Blast
hand
because she's
axe.
really good.
Yeah,
If
hand
you have
axe,
something that
also
needs
not a scalpel.
you call B.
Exactly.
If you have a thing that you need to break into that you don't care whether or not people hear you, call Stacy.
You've got a lockpick. It's a universal lockpick. It's called wood splitting maul. Anyways, so yes.
Well, luckily I can do lockpicks, and we have thieves that can do lockpicks. So you're to break down the big doors that we can't open with lockpicks.
Which, knowing how your all's dice rolls go, sometimes that's probably going to happen.
That does bring it up. Since she is a baby, does she have thieves' tools on her, or do we have to buy her some?
She'll probably have to. She'll probably have to get a set of thieves' tools. She doesn't
She
have.
can
a set
borrow
of
mine if she needs them for now.
Yeah. Well, at no point is she actually going to be actively doing lock picking or anything like that, unless she's with you all. So
Say unless I fail miserably and say, "Hey, kid, give this a try."
here, borrow these. Do this thing.
Do
But
you
yeah,
have 2 sets of lockpicks?
I do not. I can buy more when I get into town, but I only
You
have
might
one
want to
set.
get you some in case they break.
Yeah, I only have one set of thieves' tools right now.
yeah, and there's nothing saying they won't break.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I with my luck, I'll probably crit fail at some point.
Stacy has thieves' tools you can borrow if you need another set.
I
Same
appreciate.
with Mavis.
Wow, you're all a bunch of
They were-
sketchy motherfuckers.
But they were her
Um,
mom's lockpicks. So
That's
she's
our name.
There
Sketchy
you go.
Sketchy
motherfuckers.
motherfuckers.
Stacy knows a lot of people in the business because
All those who want
Duh.
sketchy motherfuckers, say aye. Aye. All right, we got 2.
yes, Stacy is a lawyer who specializes in infernal contracts. She knows a lot of sketchy people. And therefore knows how to use lockpicks.
Clearly, you know a lot of sketchy people. They're in your group. Anyways, all right. So
The little wizard goblin looks up from his spellbook and say, "Oh, I'm not supposed to doodle in this."
yeah, you're not sure if he is learning wizardry or if he's just literally manifesting magic out of his very body in a sorceress like way. But it
Oh, I
sounds
see a wizard. or a
it
sorcerer.
sounds like he's wizardy type because he's repeating a lot of incantations from his little booklet that he's got.
Just because you're a sorcerer doesn't mean you don't use incantations. Or just because you're in
Also true, but he's
using
doing
incantations.
all right. He's studying his book. He's not
He's
actually.
drawing boobs and dick pics in his book.
Yeah, probably.
100%.
Probably. He's calling them magical runes, but no, he's not a warlock of the traveler. Shut up. Anyway, so that's in Tal'Dorei North.
Yet.
So no, I've availed that one onto a poor soul in the northern province. So with that, you are in the middle of the lake. You've had your first encounter, and Brill is standing there. She's got a scowl on her face. She's looking at you rather judgingly as you all get up in the morning.
What?
Sorry.
Why do you look like
Judgy McJudgerson.
what did we do to piss you off? We fought well yesterday.
We kept everyone alive. We killed the baddies.
You got lucky. There's no way these children should have survived that.
They did, and they're better for it.
Yeah, that one stole my dagger. Give her a little thumbs up.
I don't know if you should be pleased at that or not.
Stacey's not even paying attention. She's over with Trix and she's like, so this one is called Lightning Lure. Gotta spell
Lure.
that. I call it Get
does it
Over
do?
Here.
A lure. That sounds perfect. We're already on a ship. We just need like a fishing rod. It's gonna be great.
I'm sorry, you want the goblin to start casting lightning lure into the water?
Yeah.
This
like when
isn't
the big
hillbilly
bad-
hand
We're
fishing.
fighting something in the water. Yeah, I want to cast Lightning Lure into the water.
Wouldn't it be great if our like little baby Trix was the one that took down the big bad?
I would just kiss my face to that.
Look, we might be some sketchy motherfuckers, but we did real good. So
And if you shock the water, the fish float to the top.
Breakfast.
And now we know who on the cast came from the south. All right. What?
I
I
know how
did,
to shock fish.
A car
lived in
battery is a
college.
perfect
Not from the south.
is a perfect.
It's a
We
fishing-
legitimate
didn't use
practice
a
in
battery. We
Wisconsin.
used a boat that was made to do that on purpose.
I did it in a scientific manner.
we just looted
Me
a crate
too.
of dynamite
Mhm.
off the construction crew's truck. I mean, I don't know where y'all getting your fancy shit.
Put on some
I
big
was
rubber
on a
waders. Get
science
yourself a fish shocking
expedition.
pole. Person
Mhm.
behind you with a net. Just
I would
walk
like
along
to
the bottom of the
state
river.
that the opinions are these of the cast members and are not the opinions of Border Kingdom's Adventures and or the producer.
to be
of
clear,
the
you
show.
don't kill the fish when you shock
No.
them. You
You
stun
get them out and you measure them
Mhm.
and weigh them, and
Mhm.
then you throw them
and
back.
identify their species,
Yep.
and then you throw them back in
For science.
for
For
science.
science.
Certain
I would
certain
like
fish
to
species
state that these are the
only live in
opinions
water that's very pure
of the cast
and not tainted
Mhm.
by a lot of chemicals.
and are not the opinions of the producer of the channel or Border Kingdom's Adventures. Thank you very much. That is
Certain
our
fish
PSA.
species only live in water that's very
Ruth, shut
pure
up!
and not full of chemicals.
Enough.
She's
Border
She's
Kingdoms doesn't
wandered.
believe in science.
I don't want to hear about shocking fish for science.
What about weighing fish for science?
But you make it sound like it's a terrible, terrible
Poetry
thing.
in motion. All right.
I have shocked fish and measured them and gotten paid to do so.
3 people on this
Wow.
stream? That's bananas, really. That have studied fish for science.
Is
That's
this like
crazy.
a common internship that people that go into science?
No.
I had to
I'm
do
not
it
trained in
for
science. I have a degree in photography.
All right. Fish shockers. That's the new name of the new name of this group.
I had to do it for school for natural resource management.
I suppose that's better than fish fuckers.
Well, I don't know. The cleric was having makeout sessions with the demon fish last session. So no judgment.
I mean, he was kind of hot.
What was that one movie? God,
The Shape of Water.
The Shape of Water. Yeah.
Yeah, I went there. My mind went there. That's where my mind went.
See. All right. Apparently, we're all sketchy motherfuckers. All right.
We're
cool.
all sketchy motherfuckers, okay?
I think that movie got nominated for a bunch of stuff. So
Yeah,
It did.
Guillermo del Toro, it did.
All right. So, Brill. So, oh crap, I'm forgetting our characters' names now. Adelaide. After, uh, after witnessing Brill in action last session, what is your prevailing opinions of your fellow blood hunter?
Not good. I think she's a cocky motherfucker that needs to stop.
Well, that goes without
So-
I mean,
saying.
she's good at what she's good with what she does, but not too fun for.
Go ahead and give me a insight roll. You have got advantage on it,
Oh,
simply because you are also a blood hunter.
She's the
I
sketchy one.
didn't roll with it.
She's the sketchy.
11.
Your you have the feeling that there is more to her than meets the eye. Aside from the fact, the only thing that you can tell right now is that she drinks heavily, um, pretty much all the time.
But don't we all?
Did
A little, well,
but she did that like frenzy thing too, didn't she?
B not so much after that
gonna
last
say.
one. She learned her lesson.
There are some amongst us who don't drink anymore.
Or claim not to. Yeah, she did do a blood frenzy thing. She seems a little unhinged. Is
So
the best.
she's only mad because she's hung over then. So she's not really grouchy at us. She's just mad because she hasn't had her morning.
As far as you can tell, she is being incredibly critical of you because of the fact that she thinks that you got extremely lucky, and you haven't taken into account the fact that you could have and probably should have gotten at least a couple of those kids killed. And you're not sure why. She doesn't seem to care a whole lot about the goblin teens, but the teen squad. But you do think that she has the opinion that you all got extremely lucky, and does not want to doesn't think that that this group can really meet the needs of the challenge that is the Lady of the Lake. Um, that said,
She is.
she's not done a let's turn this boat around and get the hell out of here. Y'all are going to get yourself killed. But she has started you all saying that as soon as breakfast has been had, she is going to be taking you through drills on combat efficiency, on how to play to each other's strengths, yada yada yada. Um,
Brill, did I miss something? You're not in charge. We asked for your help, not to take over.
I'm not taking over. I do not wish to be a part of your group, but you need to learn these tactics if you're going to survive against the likes of this Moon Maiden. It is up to you. If you wish to continue on and stumble along and hope for the best, feel free. I will act as merely a scout if you wish.
I'm,
You were down in the
Daisy
hole
just
eating
wants
carrots.
to
You
get
missed
an
the whole
A
thing.
plus. Yeah, yeah. Daisy she's just following along. She just wants to get an A in class. She's a teacher's pet type for sure.
I mean, we did ask for her help, and if this is the way that she'll help us best, we had to prove ourselves, and then we had to come back with more friends. See, it
And
just
we-
seems like this woman like always gives us something else to do before she'll help us. And now she's offering to help.
If you just want to do a straight frontal assault on the islands, I can make that happen. I'm pretty sure I can come back from it in one piece.
Look, I'm always looking for a back door, so
I just like having private coaching. I think that's great.
I like to read all the fine print before making a decision.
Adelaide,
One of us does.
Adelaide, something about her tactics seems reckless to you, though.
Yeah, I'm curious. Do I know what kind of blood hunter she might be? I'm suspicious of if she's. I'm just suspicious of her because I know I obviously I know there's a few types, but I followed the Ghost Order is mostly what I would or Ghost Slayer what I would know
Mhm.
about.
could B do an insight check to see if she's like actually going to help us or if she's going to like
Sure.
lead us into a trap?
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
That's what I'm thinking too. Be she's like gonna sell us out to that lady.
She seems to, for you, B, she seems like a drill sergeant kind of a thing. She, seems harsh, but she's indeed trying to instill some, tactical knowledge onto you all. Is she teaching you stuff that you kind of already know? Maybe. But there she's points out areas in the previous day's fight where um, it had no business going as well as it did for you. She does point out some things that were done correctly, uh, but she does kind of help out with like how things could go better. So
Yeah.
you think she's actually trying to be helpful. She's not. Now whether or not she's setting you up, it's tough to say. I mean, she's not. She's not. If she was setting you up, she could have worked. If she had worked against you in the previous day's fight, you all would have been captured, and you would be at the hands of the Moon Maiden. So you don't think she's actively trying to uh, thwart you.
Who's
will
captaining the
pat
ship?
B will pass this on to the group and
Okay.
as nice a manner as she can.
The captain of the ship is a fishing person that the ship came from. There was that one guy that was kind of like a noble merchant that ran fishing a fleet of fishing vessels. Um, Brill
Yeah, the guy I got
wound
really
up.
drunk with and tried to steal his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
That
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Brill just basically chartered the boat with him.
Cool.
You're not sure what she paid for him to do this, though.
So, what pointers does she offer? Does she offer like a map of the island? Is it...
She gives you, well, she gives you some basic pointers as far as positioning. Um, getting other creatures in flank. Guarding each other's flanks, making the best use of Arabella's. Clearly this font of power that she exudes that gives you all extra boosts of energy, i.e., the 10 hit
That
points.
did save our ass. It really did save
Yeah.
my ass anyway.
Yeah. And then as far as within the lake, she tells you that she's got some insider knowledge from previous scouting missions, but some of the information might be old. And so she offers to sit down later that day and go through everything she knows about the island so that you all can make an informed decision about what you want to do. Um, so,
B will kind of pull the group quietly and, suss out how everybody's feeling. Since this woman does seem legit and genuine, and she's genuinely concerned that we might be biting off more than we can chew, he will pull the group members and is like, should we be doing this? Should we go chase rainbows? Should we go chase the rainbow instead? We're already here. We have all of our friends. We got we gathered all these people. So
Are we heroes? Are
we can be
we,
heroes just for
or do
one
we
day.
want to go back and lead more lives in town?
Well, we're already here. It took a lot to get here.
you do have a contract with your guild to help Auntie Mela
Yeah, the guild that just
reclaim.
kind of showed up and said, "Sign here or else."
Yeah, for Auntie. We shall
What did
change.
you say was the feeling I was getting from about Perrin?
She is reckless. You think that there is a sect of the blood hunters that are more involved with blood magic than the stuff that you do, and they can. The problem with that particular sect is if they lose control, they lose control, and so they blood hunters in general are not terribly group oriented. They are the least group of the blood hunters because not even other blood hunters like to hang out with them because sometimes they get their friends killed. So that's kind of a little bit of the vibe you're getting from her, even though she's trying to teach you how to not get killed. And is taking that very seriously. But she's when you see her in action, it's almost as if you're watching a frenzied barbarian.
It hasn't been a full moon. Well, we've only been here a day, haven't we? We just did one night.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a barbarian friend. She goes a little weird once in a while. She's fine. We can handle it.
So as I understand this, the reckless one wants to teach us tactics.
That you all don't necessarily get that vibe of recklessness from her. It's more Adelaide because of the fact that she is a blood hunter as well. She seemed to be as in control as Adelaide ever is to the rest of you. Now, that being
It's like
said,
always on the razor edge of
Adelaide
skillful.
is not taking to her, which seems weird to you because they're both blood hunters.
Also, we've seen Adelaide cut herself on purpose before getting into battle. So, who are we to judge?
I've not looked like that crazy lady.
Okay, you're weird, but not that weird. Is that it?
Yeah.
She might be an asshole, but she's our asshole. Yeah.
I mean, whom amongst us?
Whom amongst us hasn't performed a little bit of self-harm before a fight? Nah, I don't think so. But still, it's tough for you all to gauge the difference between them, but there does seem to be a difference. So,
I mean, I'll let everyone know that I get a weird vibe.
Yeah.
razor edge of unstable.
Weird or are weird?
Weird.
Weird,
Not
weird.
good weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad weird.
She on your chair? All right. My wife is leaving the dog down here and on her chair, so I'm like, okay, great.
Oh.
There's boxes out there. He's gonna totally face plant into one. I can tell right now. All right. So, with that, you are all going through, doing a few of the drills begrudgingly. In general, it seems like she's trying to kind of help you up your game. Also, she's doing. She might be being harsh about it, but she's definitely doing a lot to teach the teenagers how to not get in harm's way. Especially
It's really
tricks.
good for the wizard because he's living a life of squishiness.
He is living the life of a first edition wizard. Yes. So, but at the end,
Teaches them to say yes, drill sergeant after every
Yeah.
time she does something.
sir, I work for a living.
That's a fact, Jack.
Do you see any straps on my arm, son? Anyway, he or she then sits down towards the evening part. She's told the captain to kind of keep things going. Yeah, it looks like I'm. Thanks, Sean. It does look like I'm recovering from a blizzard. I went out doing Pokemon Go today because I'm dumb. Anyway,
Ooh, Pokemon Go.
yeah, it was
Check
it was a raid day. Um, uh, we raided from our car. So
Yeah, I got a gym across the street from my house.
yeah, we met some friends in from Oregon and drove around, did raids. Anyway, so in the later part of the afternoon, she instructs the captain to kind of keep it into the deeps, so that it's away from the middle of the lake, so that he can get some fish. You all can get some fish for some fresh. Yeah, TJ, I got 2 shinies. So of that particular typhlosion, whatever the thing was today. Um, and so actually, I think I got one of the shinies on one of the remote raids I did with TJ. Anyway, so she sits down with you all. You start having a meal. There's some type of a stew that's been sitting on board and kind of simmering in the galley, and she starts to talk through what she knows. She says, "Now, for Drina, they are fine with keeping their eyes closed to what's going on about them. They don't realize that they're paying a price to a hag. They see her as a nature spirit. They believe her to be a water nymph. Because they choose to not pay attention to the signs around them." And she pulls up a fish that was caught in the nets and says, "This is something you don't just see when there is a water nymph possessing your lake." And when she pulls up the fish, you see that it has got a large bulbous eye in the middle of its head that don't match the other 2 eyes that it has got.
Ah, throw it back.
Trix says, shit.
Yep. It is.
Oh, I know that one.
Uh,
That's a Springfield salmon.
It does kind of look like a Springfield salmon. If you look hard enough, you might find one that's grown feet. Um, but yeah, she tells you there's a corruption to this water, and it's not just from the white stone that is coming down the river and depositing into the lake. It's coming from within the lake itself. So they are fine with just being oblivious to what is going on, letting her have her way. Now, the real question is, why does she want the islands in the middle of this lake? Aside from the fact that it keeps her isolated from just anybody walking into her lair, I'm pretty sure that there's a passing of ley lines that goes across the islands. I'm guessing that her presence at the crossroads of these ley lines allows her an element of power she doesn't get elsewhere.
Hmm.
So, like, what kind of hag is she?
She is definitely a member of the Unseelie courts.
Are
Seelie,
hags common? Do we know that? If they are common or not common? Like
they are. They're not common, but they are
are
definitely
we
not
talking in
rare.
the tens? Are we talking in the hundreds or the thousands?
You're likely. It's tough to say. The reason being, and this is why things have gone as kind of fluid as they have, is that when you're talking about hags, they are members of the Fey courts, which means they can cross over a lot more easily than mortals can. So,
Hmm.
how many are active in Exandria at any one given point in time? It is tough to say, but they are the source of any abductions of like children and the like that gets attributed to the Fae. Likely come from some type of a hag,
Hmm.
and uh, she tells you that this particular one, the Moon Maiden, um, she is giving on the appearances of a water nymph, and if you catch sight of her, you will, unless you catch her unawares, you will see a rather fetching young fey creature with slightly greenish skin, a blue green skin, and probably a darker
Do
green
we
hair.
know if there was a water nymph and the hag kind of stole their home?
I
She
don't think
is.
we're that familiar with this area.
No, you're not that familiar with this area. What you have been told is that Auntie Mela's family made their home there, and they were driven out by this hag.
Okay.
So
Do we know about how long ago that was? Did we ever get a sense of? Didn't you say it was like 200 years ago or something?
it was about not 200 years ago. It was about 80 years ago.
Say it was a fairly. It's like a couple of generations ago.
Yeah. Yep. So uh, Auntie Mela was clearly had been driven out when she was a child. She was driven out of this area. Unless, of course, you don't know. You never really check to see if does she have pointed ears? Does she have, she could have something about her makes her younger than she actually or older than she actually appears. Um, but she appears to be an older woman, grandmotherly type. And so, tough to say. And Brill says this particular creature that is now inhabiting the islands, I believe she's crossed over from simple member of the Unseelie Court to a cursed shadow. Something that is tripped more into the realms of the betrayer gods and the fiends than the Fae. If anybody wishes, that is trained in such fine arts, you may make an Arcana check.
About hags?
About hags, yeah.
Okay, I get advantage.
Yep.
I'm not trained,
Oops.
but I'll see if I remember anything.
Oh, Adelaide, 24 will definitely do it. Adelaide.
Yeah, because I'm assuming they're Fae fiends.
They're
one of
Fae
them.
fiends.
Yeah.
She is not talking about a Beher hag, a sea hag, or anything like that. She's talking about a night hag.
Mm.
She's talking about something that goes into the demonic, and where night hags truly excel is in dealing with kidnapping children and using them for their wicked means. Now,
It's everyone calling her Mama.
mm-hmm.
Oh.
Now,
Mama's boys must help Mom.
she is not. Well, you're starting to put two and two together with everybody's. All of her minions are referring to her as Mother. There's not been a lot of reports of missing children in Drinna. So if she has been collecting children, you don't know where it's been from. So
It could be children of the lizards.
it could be. It could be. She could be taking them from groupings of creatures, sentient creatures that are not humans or humanoids. You're not sure.
Making her own tribe of lost boys.
You have seen a group. You saw the ogre at the beginning, the first encounter that you had with one of Mother's children, but this last one seemed to be like a group of humanoids that had somehow been mutated into amphibious creatures. So a little bit of Lost Boys, a little bit of Dunwich Horror.
Like some Dr. Moreau shit here?
Dr. Moreau or some H.P. Lovecraft type crap.
That episode of Buffy with the swim team.
The episode of Buffy with the swim team. Yeah. It's keeping a lot of those kind of vibes to it.
Do I know what night hags specialize in? Like if sea hags probably that's
night
water.
Night hags specialize in nightmares. They get into your dreams, and they pull your nightmares into real life.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell people that.
And with that high of a roll, you know that there is a myth that the greatest power of a night hag is to take the nightmares of their victims and turn them into tulpas.
Into what?
Turn them into what?
Tulpa. I'll put the word in there.
Thank you. What is
said
that?
Towboats, and I was like,
a good definition for players to get an idea of what a tulpa is. Freddy Krueger is a tulpa.
I was gonna say,
I had nightmares for a while, and B had nightmares for a while.
Did
while we were close to Drenna.
After we got hit by the rainbow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but mine
she bring the rainbow with her from the Feywild, like she opened some sort of hole or something. Now the rainbow is out to get everybody. Is she behind all of that?
Probably
These
not.
nightmares are all about the Raven Queen and death and stuff like
A little
that.
bit,
So
little bit of that, yeah.
Eh,
The rainbows don't. The rainbow wind is not coming from the Feywild. It is coming from the elemental plane of air.
yeah, it's not associated.
It's some sort of
That
it's
makes
some
sense.
sort of tainting of it or crossover between that, and it does not have a fey nature to it because there's not a lot of feyness that is happening when the winds go through.
and we're
If
supposed
we
to go
have
find those.
nightmares from other reasons, can the hag tap into that? Or do they cause the nightmare?
One from column A, one from column B. It could be either or.
Nobody
Okay.
sleep.
Either the nightmares could attract their attention, or they could generate the nightmares to help feed their creations.
Fortunately, at least a couple of us only need a few hours sleep. That would not be me. I'm a cat. I need
man.
like 20 hours.
You got 9 lives.
True story. In Adventures League, I had a mount that was only awake for 4 hours a day. So three-toed sloth. I had to use polymorph on it every day just to keep it on my shoulder. Anyway,
Arabella, would you happen to have any fancy tricks that keep us from being nightmared?
What would that be?
Protection from
Like,
good and evil? Something
whiskey.
that keeps us boost bourbon?
um,
Mad Dog
man.
2020?
Maybe we make coffee and you just nonstop drink coffee. Never sleep.
Those little 4-hour energy drinks, just start down in those.
1, 2, Tulpa's coming for you.
Well, okay. Yeah, I can like put people to sleep, but we don't want that.
Like anything that's like protective that keeps your companions from like I think is it aid? Does aid give you
8
I
gives
did
you
not take.
hit points. It doesn't give you
okay?
any
So
protection.
what's the one that gives you keeps you from
Protection
being feared or
versus
charmed?
protection versus good and evil keeps you from getting possessed by ghosts and things like that. It also makes things have disadvantage on swinging at you if they're
So if any of our
evil.
nice magic people have any kind of protective things against being feared or charmed,
Does it
Mhm.
work in the same way as scrying by chance?
Um,
Well,
so they have to scry on you to see you, but Adelaide knows that once a hag has gotten her hooks into you, she usually has a fairly easy time being able to remote view upon you.
Right, and that's what I'm thinking is like if one of us has the nightmare, it will be easy for her to find us. Because it acts kind of like the beacon in Hocus Pocus.
But I think scrying just shows like you in like your immediate vicinity. So if
Yeah,
everyone's just under deck,
scrying's
below deck.
different, but if she's if that type of hag is attracted to nightmares, like if it like that energy draws her to you, it will act like a kind of like a magical beacon of sorts. I would expect if one of us is having nightmares.
and she probably, if that's true, she probably already knows we're on our way. Or
True.
something's starting to disturb her shit because we've already killed a bunch of her dudes, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna notice. Especially since their necklaces are missing. Probably how she's keeping track of them.
so the only thing that I really have is the Twilight Sanctuary because it can make it so you can't be charmed. But that only
That's
lasts a
good.
minute.
Charmed is
A
better than
minute?
nothing.
It lasts for a minute. Yep.
Yeah, it's
What about
Oh.
you, Mavis? Do you have anything
Nope,
protective-y?
not in my wheelhouse.
Well, we'll just have to shove Ruth in front of it.
All right.
I'm on board with
Gonna
that.
fight Freddy. Don't worry, I have a friend
I
named
cast the
Jason,
spell,
and he can
Maul.
help. He can help out.
Hey, it's okay, guys. He just wants his machete back. All right. She then tells you. All right. Now, as far as the Moon Maiden is concerned, she has got. She's got a unknown number of those creatures we saw yesterday. Um, Following the same breakdown we have seen, which was the foot soldiers, the ones that with all the biting and the scratching. From time to time, they will use weapons, but mostly they prefer to fight with tooth and claw. And then
And screaming, apparently.
their leaders, the ones with the tridents and the lightning. It appears that their transformation, it's almost got a patron warlock aspect to it, where the higher ranking ones are more closely attuned to a deep water powerful entity, likely a kraken. That would be my guess. But I have not dealt with many krakens. That's not really my area. Hags. Hags tend to be my forte. So, you're looking at a grouping of those. Those are going to be the foot soldiers.
Hags are your forte, huh? Well, then we're very lucky you were around.
Well, I had taken an assault on this one a long time ago, and that assault failed because
So you have a score to settle.
I was hired on by some people that were not prepared for what they had to deal with in the islands. We all barely made it out, and most of us didn't. So,
So is there a way we can draw them off in small groups and take care of them that way?
it is possible, but without knowing what extent her forces are, it can be dangerous.
So we take a couple to interrogate and take out the rest of the small group.
Could
Fine, I'm
work.
all for back doors. Let's find a back door.
I mean, at this point, I
Subtlety
don't
and
think she's going to be
subterfuge.
surprised.
She's not going to be surprised at the assault. It's going to be a
Like a
question.
full frontal assault only really works if they're surprised. They don't
The
expect the
question
hammer
is
to the
going to be if she understands where the assault comes from. If you can find a way to slip in without
The
being
back door.
noticed and attack from a flank, then if you can reach her and take her out before she commands the full front of her attack on you, you can either drive her off or deal with her completely and take her out. What you will need to worry about as you get closer to her is the larger brutes. The ogres, like the ones that you saw before. And she has got a guardian, a creature that she literally created, stitching together the bodies of her enemies. He stands a full 8 feet tall and is made up of a little bit of every kind of sentient creature you can think of.
She has a Frankenstein, a Frankenbeans.
A flesh
A
golem?
golem. Yes.
Show us on the flesh golem where the flesh golem touched you.
Exactly. So, now you know what you're going to be dealing with. Potentially a night hag. Although she is singular, it is rumored that she has under her singular person the power of a coven. So, potentially, a whole coven in one body, guarded by a flesh golem, some aquatic ogres, and a small army of humanoid, amphibious humanoids.
You know, the auntie said there was only the hag. This is a longer list.
Makes it more challenging.
She may not have been aware. If she was driven off of the island back when the Moon Maiden took possession of it, well, who's to know what she saw? And I think the hag's been a little bit busy over the last few decades.
And it also makes sense now that that she would have more sentries. I mean, she would know that we're coming because some of her guys. I mean, does she have a census? Does she keep count of how
I'm willing to bet
morning roll call?
she's got, and she holds up the pendants. There's probably a limited number of these, and when these go offline, she
Can we
probably
wear
notices.
those? Can we wear those and appear to be one of the people?
I don't know how you would appear to be one of them, but if you wore them,
Does it like Marcus is like being on the cool team?
it could potentially mark you, but it could also potentially just be a way for her to easily spot you.
And maybe control you.
You know, it's kind of like
Also,
putting on
not
somebody else's clothes
entirely.
that you stole. Outfit. Never mind.
It's a little bit more so than that because of the fact that it contains a magical connection.
Well, maybe we should smash them then.
Possibly.
Stacy.
Or
Yeah?
you take them and you
Smashing's
bring them in.
always good.
You bring them into town and you sell them to some poor hapless bastard who just thinks it's a pretty trinket.
That too. I like money.
Mm-hmm.
So, how long, DM, will it take us to reach said island, and can we do it in? I mean, she's gonna see a big old ship coming, right?
Within a day's time, you can get in there. The ship is not small. It is. You could potentially be noticed. The question is, how can you create a distraction that's going to pull her attention elsewhere?
If only the rainbow winds would just flow this way. That's hella distracting. Oh,
Or could have our friend Mavis talk to her friend the dragon and have him like fly over and I don't know, land and do something. Mavis, he's your friend.
just flying over would be kind of distracting. Like, oh crap, there's a dragon.
If I remember correctly, he prefers to be low key and doesn't want everybody knowing he's here.
But only they would know, right? Or could they see him from the village?
Everybody.
Oh, yeah.
He's a dragon.
Fine. He could just like skirt around.
You
and fly over
could
the island.
you could petition him to see what his thoughts are on it, but currently he is trying to not call.
He doesn't want every adventurer
Dr.
coming to try and cut his head off.
Negotiations are definitely not on the table, right? Like we're definitely not talking to her. We have to kill her. Because this sounds like
Right,
a
that's
lot.
what I'm wondering. Like, could somebody else
So,
go
hold it.
into
Do
the
you
other type of
understand
smash?
Unseelie Court and where their bent is towards as a fey creature? They are not nice.
No, they aren't nice.
You know, fire's always a great distraction.
What are you going to light on fire and what are you going to use?
Well, it's an island, right? They have to have wood and.
I'm good at starting fires.
I was gonna say I think we should sneak on and just burn shit down. It worked the last time.
I do always like
It-
this. I mean,
It kind of worked the last time.
Nobody died very much. It got better.
That's true.
When in doubt, arson.
I mean,
I'm down
When
to
in doubt,
arson.
arsonist or is it alchemist fire?
I mean,
yeah,
to be
alchemist
fair,
fire. I mean, we're some
you're
sketchy
gonna set a
motherfuckers. We can come up with something.
if you're gonna set a fire, I guess an island is the best place, right? Because you're not gonna burn
Yeah,
a
so can a
whole
spread.
forest down. Yeah.
No, and apparently
Bill?
she's got like a fort. These people have to have lived somewhere. Let's burn their houses down.
Does anyone have some gasoline and orange juice?
Does she
They
live on the
also
island?
Everclear.
Is she under the island? You think she'd be under the island? She looks like a sea nymph.
Hi, Mavis.
So, Brill, does the hag have a town, a building, or anything on there? Or does she live in a
Yes.
cave?
And
No.
is it flammable?
They are made out of stone. Maybe I'm not sure about the construction of the roofs. They might be thatched, but the buildings
Thatched roof
themselves are stone.
cottages.
Makes it hard to burn.
It does make it hard to burn.
The problem with thatch is where do you get it on an island?
Thatched roof cottages.
You make it.
From usually
Dried
thatch is made from
palm.
like
they could
palm
probably
leaves or branches
trees
or something. But if it's an island
Cattails.
and there's like a finite amount of resources, if their buildings are made out of stone, I'm kind of wondering how much plant life they have on the island.
That's fair.
How big
Well,
is
she's
this
been there
island?
for over 80 years.
The
so she's-
islands are decently sized.
Okay.
Think like Washington Island or bigger.
Are we overanalyzing this enough for you, Joe?
You can overanalyze it as much as you want.
Look, we're just trying to find a way to get on the island and burn shit down.
Well, so
Yeah.
back to the idea of taking them in small groups. You know, there are buildings. We could find a building on the edge of town, take over, camp, and just lure people in the door with candy. Take them out.
Like some candy.
Aren't we
little boy?
doing? That's exactly what the hag is doing, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
She stole them first. We're gonna steal them back.
Use her own tactics against her.
Okay.
Because we're
I
strange
feel like
with
that would
candy.
get noticed and it would pin us in a corner.
Well, I mean, we'd have to start somewhere. I'm not saying like we have to camp in the building, but like these are buildings with doors that close, hopefully. Like it's a good place to yank someone and knock them out or kill them or whatever, and then move on to the next area.
Now, Brill said she would scout, and I can scout, and then we have a new baby scout. So between the three of us, could we maybe reconnoiter somehow?
Brill does also say if you can possibly petition the aid of this dragon, if you can convince him to even just do a flyover, it will help things. Now, I understand he wants to keep a low profile, but if he is truly not here to threaten the city, then maybe they'll be accepting of the fact that he's around.
We're going backwards then. We're not going forwards.
You're making a tactical move to get a faster jump forward, but it is up to you. As you said, I'm not in the leadership position in this group. I'm merely helping out with the tactics. So, if you can do that, that would be a big advantage for our side. If you don't, well then you can we can look at trying to sneak our way on and onto the islands and working guerrilla warfare. You know, hiding out in the trees and making our way in small little incursions.
I'm always down for guerrilla warfare. I have an extra D6 now for my sneak, so
If we had the ability to even just mask our ship going in, it'd be even better. But you know, we
does
can,
anybody have like? Well, you can't exactly. I mean, can you use a disguise ship kit to disguise a ship?
nope.
No,
I have
A
it's
fog,
usually like
Thought-
face makeup.
a fog
I have
cloud.
thaumaturgy.
Fog would be good.
Thaumaturgy's more of a cantrip. I mean, it can do a
Minor
lot of
illusion?
different stuff, but not an entire ship.
I would say
Yeah.
this would be something the scouts should look into because if it's an island and there's other creatures here beside the hag, there's going to be boats somewhere. 'Cause
Minor
I'm sure they're
illusion.
not all fish. So find out what kind of boats they have. Maybe get some buckets of tar.
Minor
Make this
illusion
thing
might
look a
not
bit grungy.
necessarily help as much either. You could, so from what you've noticed, most of the forces from the island don't utilize boats.
They swim
Yeah.
and come up under you.
The druid should have access to fog cloud. They just have
If
to
you
procure
had
it.
a
I
druid,
say our druid decided to go home and contemplate her future.
Sarah was the
Fair
druid.
enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like,
And I don't
No.
think rangers have. Well, I don't know what level do rangers, because rangers get access to it
Doesn't
as
she
well.
have pass without trace?
a ranger probably does,
I
yeah.
think-
Yeah,
I don't think that'll work on a boat though.
I would gauge that as being a potential. I mean, it would help out.
I have fog cloud.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that's a ranger spell too. So yeah,
Yep.
you could
You're
use
correct.
you could use fog cloud to basically create a fog bank that you follow in.
Is this
Yep.
the only
And I have
island in the
pass
area?
without a trace as
There's
well.
two islands. There's two big islands, and
Okay.
and the Auntie Mela said that the settlement was kind of on both. One more so than the other. The Big Island has got the majority of it, but there was some sort of you don't know if it was a mine or if it was a garden or something like that on the smaller island. So you've got two potential islands, depending on what she's doing there. The smaller one is probably going to be less heavily defended, but it's also probably going to have less resources for you.
We could use.
I'm just
fog
thinking of
cloud
like
to
a
get
place to hide
close.
the ship.
Small island would probably be the easiest place to not be recognized because there's not a lot of activity over there.
Now,
But the
didn't
big
he
island's
say
got more space to deal
the
with.
captain said he wouldn't wait for us, right? That he would just drop us off and then like come back 3 days later.
Yep.
So we need to worry about mooring the ship. We just need to get there and get.
You'll have
like,
you'll
if
have
we-
like a tender boat there, like a rowboat that you would.
Yeah, but like places to hide. A rowboat.
Yeah, there's
If the smaller island's less defended, I would say let's go there because it's more likely we'll be able to hide the boat in a way that people won't notice it right away.
Then we'll just pick them off one by one.
Take over the
I-
small island, and then prepare to
I can
assault the big
only
island.
do fog cloud or pass without a trace because they're both concentration.
that's fine. The
Fog
fog
cloud
cloud will
works.
probably
One or the
work
other.
better.
Cool.
All
Is
right.
everybody cool with this?
Sounds good.
All right. So the captain sets up to bring you in towards the small island from around the back end of the islands, doing it towards the evening when it is going to be more difficult for you all to be spotted. Additionally, the sudden occurrence of a heavy fog helps mask your approach as you get close. And
It only lasts an hour, so let me know when I need to cast again.
yeah, you'll probably do 2 castings to get up to the
Okay.
island.
Cool.
And as you get up to the island, you do 1 casting when the boat is going up, and then you do a 2nd casting for the rowboat to get the rowboat up. Your little small army joins you in this escapade and heads in with you. Now, let's get the fun out of the way. Adelaide, give me a survival check. You have advantage, as this is going to be kind of a favored enemy sort of thing. Oof. Not great, even with advantage.
I'm the one who rolls that way. Okay, nobody else gets to roll like that.
So,
Oops.
all right, go ahead and roll me a 20-sided die, just a d20. Okay.
15.
All right. You get to the point of landing. You set the boats up because it did take 2 rowboats to get you all over here, just because there were so many of you. And you get them in you've anchored them, not anchored, you've beached them, pulled them up onto the beach, kind of put them down, and cover them up to give them a more hidden aspect. And you're like, great, we're all set. We can turn around and we can actually take care of this. As you turn around, coming up from the water in a flash of brilliant light, the wind courses up from the waves and over the island. And you can see that while it's got a flicker of light to it, a little bit of a shine or sheen, it is not brightly lit, but it has got a speckled hue to it. And what you didn't notice when you were coming up because of the fog is that you came up just as the rainbow winds were coming across the island.
I fucking knew it. Yes.
As you turn around and see this, Half of you are like,
Oh man.
dive for cover! And as you do, a human in heavy armor and carrying a shield steps out of the brush. And he turns to you all and says, take cover, I've got this. And he reaches behind his shield, pulls out what looks to be like some type of parchment, and holds it up in front of him. And as he does, the glitter and the sparkle all centers in on him, draws into the piece of parchment that he has, and he takes it and kind of gives it a snap. And as he does, all of what he absorbed into it kind of coalesces onto the parchment and forms into what looks to be like a large for the more of a tarot card type card as opposed to like a playing card.
Did we find Gambit?
And he said,
Really hoping we did.
everybody okay?
Just
Nobody
when
got
that
hit.
was- when he said to take cover, Trix dove and rolled a natural one.
kind
Hero
of
card
bumped
is
his
the
head.
Five of Cups.
Bank.
B will
Is
like
he
throw
causing
her
the
body.
rainbow? Is he a
Throw her
rainbow
body with one.
collector? I'm so confused. Is he Arashari?
He's not a Shari. He is dressed in plate armor. He has got a shield that has emblazoned on it what looks to be like a sunburst heraldry symbol.
So you're saying he's not buoyant?
He is not buoyant at all. No, he is an anchor.
Nor is he stealthy in that armor.
No, but somehow y'all managed to miss him. You know, because
He was inside
dice.
the bush.
Yeah. So he turns around and says,
He's just like taking twigs out of his armor now. Like, hello.
"We should,
Hey, baby.
we should take a bit of cover. I'm sure the creatures of these islands have noticed that. There's a cave right up here.
That was really
Thanks,
cool.
dude.
What
We were
did you
trying to
do?
be sneaky.
Who are you and what are you doing here?
That was just the type of distraction we were looking for.
We can talk in the cave where it's safe. Please follow me."
Can
And he starts
I
walking.
make an insight check on him?
You certainly may.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, is he a sketchy motherfucker too?
I mean, you all are a bunch of sketch.
I shall also insight.
He does not seem as sketchy as you all, to be sure. He seems trustworthy. I mean, he just kind of saved you all from getting cascaded across with the rainbow winds. So even B trusts him. And all right, that really isn't very helpful because B trusts
Okay,
everybody.
but he's really, really shiny, you guys, and you know how much I love shiny things. I mean, look at him sparkle with the glitter. He's got to be a good guy.
What are your cards? What is a card? Is it a card that you made?
Mhm.
Did you make that?
Well, it kind of. I'll explain. Please come. And he starts walking towards where he pointed out. Where
I
the
thought we
cave
were
was.
walking.
I was like,
Yeah.
B's going with that guy. He's shiny
Yeah.
and probably hot.
And so when you set things up, oh wait, I don't know. Yeah, you
We're
probably
not
is.
walking into a trap, are we? Is it like footsteps of other people? Where are we going?
It looks like other people have walked this way before. No, not that you.
Can't
Hey,
turn
but
into a
it's
bear
the
by any
hag.
chance.
I bet the hag, like, she came out of the water. I bet it's the hag.
He didn't come out of the
It's
water.
suspicious.
Yeah, he was already on the shore. We just kind of ran into him.
Oh yeah, he's kind of hot.
Yeah, you can't turn into a bear by any chance.
No, unfortunately not. Um,
In this
B will go
tropical
with
weather and that armor, yeah, he's hot.
so, he's as he gets you, and you get into to the cave. He's got a low fire going, and there is some. It looks like fish, kind of cooking on a in a spit. Um, Drying, cooking, tough to say. But he offers you all a seat and says, um, "Please let me introduce myself. I am Sir Jareth. I am a
Can you
knight."
spell? Can you spell that out?
Could you spell
Jared?
that for us, please?
Sounded like a sneeze.
Sir Jareth. I am a knight who has been tasked with dealing with the occurrence of these chaos winds.
Asked by whom?
My order.
You know, we're kind of on the same path, too.
Yeah, we were getting to it. We just needed to deal with this other thing first.
I see that. And he sets down the parchment, and when you look at it, um, the back of the card, because at this point it now looks like a card. The back of the card has got that same kind of symbol, that sunburst symbol that's on his shield, is on the back of the card, and on the front of it, it has a different look to it. All of it is done up in kind of a glitter fashion.
Does he have? He has multiple cards,
He just
like
has that one.
possibly a deck of cards.
He just has that
Many
one.
things, perhaps?
Hey, Joe, can I
Yeah.
make a history check on his order and
Sure.
Very shiny and
Nope.
glittery.
Never heard of them.
he's human and I like Fey Knights, so I
And
didn't.
you don't recognize the heraldic symbol at all as being
Also,
part of
I
it.
think he's a little tall for you, Mavis. You had a tendency to like the little guys.
A little bit, yeah.
He's not pretty enough.
He's not pretty enough. He's so pretty.
But he sure is shiny.
That
But I
doesn't.
also try to. Sorry, I
Sure.
just do the thing about the order.
Do the thing.
Do the thing.
It's just getting late. Okay, I can't remember.
You know everything.
So,
I read a lot of books.
Adelaide, you are not going to necessarily know about this order. What you do know is that similar to the Blood Hunters, there are various groups that seek out chaos wherever it spawns. And it is as if the powers of the divine creatures of that kind of watch over Exandria needed a way to counteract chaos on Exandria without getting directly involved, because the divine gate keeps them locked up. It's likely that
This is like
he
a-
belongs to this.
It's like a paladin of anti-chaos. That's like the epitome of a paladin.
Kind of paladin-like, but not necessarily a paladin, because
Guardian of the Divine
he
Gate.
isn't facing. He doesn't have a symbol or anything that's facing out that has one of
Like
the prime
holy
deities
symbol.
on it. Yeah. Now,
I'm just gonna ask him if he's a paladin.
drawing the chaos into a piece of parchment like that and creating a card, you have heard tales, because blood hunters have told these myths because whereas you focus on hunting like ghosts and spirits and fey creatures and things like that, um, fey creatures, creatures of a chaotic nature, will sometimes create decks of cards like this that can they can be good, they can be bad. Um, it's and there is not it is not a one deck of say many things. These are different decks of different things. So in other words, there's a multitude of these types of things, and wherever they appear, they can sow discord and chaos, or they can elevate people from hovels to heroics. But it is something that the blood hunters keep an eye out for because they try and remove these things from the hands of people that could wreak some horrible havoc with them. Either whether they be evil creatures or people that would unknowingly just screw things up. And you can definitely tell that this piece of parchment that he used to draw in the Chaos Winds has become magical now. So this is a magic playing card or tarot card.
You will ask if this is a regular occurrence. Does this wind come through here
This
on the regular?
particular lands, I highly doubt it. I believe this is something new. It has occurred on other planes. I was sent here by the leader of my sect.
Physically get here?
So
teleport? Did you?
He sent me here. He sent me here by vessel. I traveled the astral sea to get here.
How long have you been here?
I just arrived within the last 10 days. I've been searching out these winds. I know that there are several of them.
Oh yeah, we've seen them around.
Yes, well, I have taken care of one of them. It is a dangerous
job. Know anything like about where you landed, or?
I was dropped off on the island. Well, I mean, we in this area, we had sensed 3 winds coming through here, and so this seemed like the place to start.
Made contact with any of the locals?
I have tried not to, but you were in danger, so I had to intervene.
You see a sea hag?
Is he a what?
A sea hag around here?
A sea hag.
Maybe a flesh golem, perhaps.
Like a hag disguised as a nymph.
There's a fey creature that has a settlement on the other island. Yes.
I've kept the other island.
How much activity is on this island?
Little.
That you've seen.
Well, that's good.
Little. She's got a garden here.
Can you use that card again? How does that work?
Well, I've only got so much of those. Those parchments are special. I can use them to draw on the winds.
It captures the rainbow?
It can, if it works. If it doesn't work, it's quite painful.
And then can you shoot the rainbow back out of it?
No, not really, but well, I suppose it's about time to figure this out. And he takes the little parchment piece and he kind of and he flips it over. And
a bit reckless.
And a death's head with a scythe that comes out. No.
He disappears into a void.
Disappears into a void.
I mean,
Levels
with
up.
this wind, we don't know.
The card that he has on the other side has a symbol that looks like 3 keys that are on it, and that are a gold key, a platinum key, and a bronze key, and or it could be silver. You know, it's hard to tell. Light metallic color, and as he does, uh, uh, kind of drop it down. A small image, almost from a minor illusion, kind of pops up, showing kind of the vicinity that you're in. The 2 islands, the lake, Drina, and just the kind of the shores around the lake. And you see that there are 2 points of light that are streaking, one directly to the south and one more to the east, kind of heading the direction of where the lizard folk were. And he's like, well, I suppose that's the first bit of luck I've had since landing here. He says, it's a tracker. It'll help track like entities.
So
Eventually,
would you be interested in fighting a hag with us?
well, hags do tend to be sources of these things, and if she takes notice of these winds coming across this lake, she could use them for great ill.
Because we have it on pretty good authority that she's living next door.
I can, yeah, she is. I've seen her.
Do you
Well,
happen to notice anything flammable over there?
aside from the trees, not a lot. Plus, you don't want to necessarily burn the island. I suppose it'd grow back eventually. But he does say though that I could be convinced. I could be convinced to help you out.
Mavis, can you convince this guy to help us out?
If I were to aid you with your problem with this hag, might you be so inclined to aid me in the collections of these winds?
We were going to
Absolutely.
get to it anyway.
That was
So,
number 2 on our list after the hag.
yeah.
I have kind of a like a thing that lets me talk to my new bestie, who lives on the mountain. I don't know if you heard of her, it's Keyleth of the Arashari, and she's really interested in these winds too. So, yeah, this would be great.
I suppose I have not heard of these Ashari, but if this is a powerful ally that would aid us in collecting the winds, I think that can help out.
We will take a minute and talk to, give Keyleth an update as to, hey, we're on the island, we found this guy, he's trapping the winds. She'll update Keyleth. She'll give a progress report to Keyleth when she gets a second.
So, Joe, who all came off the boat with us besides the goblins?
Your 3 goblins, the goblin scout, Rock, and his companion, and Kira, the druid.
What about Brill?
Oh yeah,
She's
Brill.
supposed to come too.
Brill came too. Yeah,
Okay.
And I thought we had 2 Goliath guys.
you do. Rock and his companion. His companion has not. He has not offered a name. He doesn't talk. But
Rock and his boy.
mm-hmm.
And
He
then
seems a strong silent type.
Kara, the
Kira.
Kira.
At least I think it was Kira.
Our goblin friends, our scout, whose name eludes me, but I have it written down. Rock and his friend Kira.
Aethor is the goblin scout. Kira
Aethor,
is
that's
the
him.
tiefling druid. The Rock is the Goliath Guard, and then the unnamed Goliath Guard. And then you've got Trix, Bloss, and Strauss. Your goblin. And now?
Our goblin trainees.
Sure.
Brill. And now we have another friend. We have Sir Jareth, if he will consent to join us.
He will. He will aid you in dealing with this one. He takes a concerned look over the goblins. Not because that he doesn't want to group with goblins, but because they're teenagers. A little bit more, at least your blood hunter, Adelaide sees a bit more of a mentoring type concern over his face than Brill had. Like he's truly concerned for the well-being of these goblins. So he kind of spends a little time talking to each of them, finding out what they do. Giving them some
and realizing
pointers.
that they really, really, really wanted to come, and you couldn't say no to that face.
He understands that they are where they need to be, and he's just helping to kind of give them some pointers and things like that. And you're definitely seeing a different teaching style from Sir Jareth than you are from Brill. This one seems to be definitely more positive and supportive. Where she was just do it this way or die. I don't care.
Do it this way or you ain't coming home.
Yep. So yeah, he seems like he knows what he's doing. Not necessarily any more capable than you all are, but at the same time, he seems to know a lot more about the Chaos Ones than you do, since he was sent here for that purpose, and he's got a way of trapping them. He tells you that the one that he captured into this piece of parchment is now negated.
I was wondering about that. It's like, has it been used? Is it a renewable resource, or is this like a one-time deal?
He has absorbed it. It is gone. It is contained, and it has enchanted with the piece of parchment. So it has the chance to enchant the parchment. It has a chance to blow up. It has a chance to just draw it into the person that is holding it, and then they absorb the chaos winds. So he's willing to help teach you all how to do it, so that you can help him in capturing and containing the winds. But he tells you should be aware that there is a significant risk involved when you place yourself between the innocents and the winds of chaos.
Yeah, Bee's already beholden to a death goddess, so we're gonna let somebody else take that one.
We're gonna let somebody else step in front of the radioactive material.
Play like a game of cards with like the sea witch, and she just like accidentally takes home this like
Accidentally turns
magic
over the death card. Bye, lady.
yeah, like
He says you should not put the powers of this chaos wind or the cards that are created in the absorption of it in the hands of a hag. That would
what
be
if you, like
bad.
playing a fiddle with the devil for like a trade offer, and like you had a magic deck of cards that could give you
You
advantage.
never play games with devils.
Oh,
And read the fine
You
print.
sometimes
I'll
play
learn.
games with devils.
I mean, this
I'll learn
one
how
build
to
is
catch the
good.
winds.
Adelaide is willing to help catch the winds. All right.
And I'll catch wind because I've already eaten the wind once.
I'm all right with catching some winds. I'll see what happens.
All right. Well,
What y'all do with your wins is your own business.
I broke mine.
Can we fashion the paper into some sort of garment so that it breaks the wind?
No. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's impossible. I don't know how to do it. I have been trained how to do
We got
this.
4 cats.
So
Ooh.
I can
That
pull
is
a.
exactly what that card looks like.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's actually the back of the deck. I just really like that it's 4 cats.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little bit miffed because I got my physical copy from my D&D Beyond thing, and it had damaged the corner of the book, and then I just randomly had one get sent to me. I was like, "Hey, cool, I'll take it." So I had a
I have a deck of many things that's like flower based that I found on Kickstarter a few years ago, and it's really
yeah,
cool.
I've seen that one. I've seen that. You might have been the one that showed that to me. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I've now got 2 decks, uh, and I've got some other decks that I 3 Dragon Ante and whatnot. So yeah,
I have
I've been
this
reading
is
through the
actually an
book.
Oracle deck.
I've been reading through the book, and this is there's some really cool ideas in there that I'm going to be introducing into both Tal'Dorei games. So congratulations, you're the first one to get them. So Jareth has
I'm just
joined
looking
you.
around by my
Yay! Lucky
desk
us.
going, which tarot deck has the biggest cards?
Do you think that maybe I put the Chaos Winds in Tal'Dorei South for just such a reason to introduce in these cards? Maybe.
No, not you. You
Not
never do
me.
something like that.
Why would I do
No.
something like that?
You
So,
love your players. You don't torture them.
all right. Do you not remember the zombie bird from 20 Sides to
Yeah,
Every
it was
Story?
endless.
Excuse
And we
me.
were like, all right, every time you mention the zombie
Uh,
bird, we're going to open another pizza parlor.
right, exactly. Every time I'm traumatized.
Yeah.
We're going to seek out
The
another
zombie
ingredient.
bird. I stole the pixie's soul. Yeah.
It was
Anyway,
rough.
yeah. The pixie was a
Stole a
goth for
pixie
a while.
soul, like whatever. Everyone's done that.
Everyone's done that.
Yeah.
Hell,
We all
that's a
go through a
plot line in
phase.
Baldur's Gate 3.
That you're not
Huh.
wrong.
That's wild.
So is this nice cave? Is this not a nice enough place to have a short or a long rest? Because I think our
It
ranger
is.
used the spell slots
It
for all
is.
of the spell slots.
It is a fine place for you to make a to take a long rest, and he will tell you all you need to know about this small island. So the small island has a definitive lack of large game. There's small game there. That's the reason why he's got fish currently toasting on the fire. Um, uh, the island, the majority of the island is a collection of trees. Um, and as you get towards the north west section of the island, um, it flattens out into kind of a plains sort of thing, but it has been made into worked fields, and that is the large garden that he spoke of, uh, and he tells you that while he's noticed all the activity on the big island, here on the small island, that uh, he's familiar with the types of creatures that are working the land there. He says that they are fey creatures, twisted, cruel fey creatures known as red caps. They're kind of dwarvish in stature, gnomish, not like burly like a dwarf, but they wear big iron shod boots, and they like to kick people with them, and they wear these reddish beret type things that give them their name because they get their bright crimson hue from them dipping in the blood of their enemies.
Now, is the small game also twisted?
He said, I found some rabbits. No offense, but they seem to be just fine. I've seen a couple squirrels and like ground mice. Seem okay. Seem pretty okay. Uh, they they seem more alert than your average small game, but otherwise. Why? Is there something? I mean, I know that the presence of a hag can corrupt nature around it. Have there been symptoms of this?
It's corrupted the fish. We saw a fish that we pulled in that had 3 eyes.
Oh, ooh, hmm,
That's why I asked.
yeah.
Also, the people who used to
It-
live on this island were very upset when they were driven out by a hag.
I would
So do
assume
you
so.
believe that animals are alert for themselves or alert to warn somebody else?
Well, I have not been hunting the. I've not been hunting the small animals that are on the island, and they've seen me, and she has not noticed me yet. So I'm gonna guess they are alert for themselves.
I'm going to go out and look for a small animal to talk to.
All right, give me a survival check. Now let me. While you do that, let me remind myself on the. I assume you're just using the ability of your
Of being a furblog,
furball.
yes.
Furball. You have the ability to communicate with a limited manner with beasts, plants, and vegetation. They can understand many words, though they have no special ability to. You have no special ability to understand them in return.
Yep.
So
But
they,
I can get them to nod their head yes or no
yeah, probably.
to find out if they're free range rabbits or if
Are you
they're
free
work
range
rabbits.
chickens? I say, get away, boy! You bother me. Um,
Or if they're transformed from something else by the hag.
that might be a little bit difficult to discern, but possibly some yes or nos. Um, anyway, oh yeah, you rolled me a survival check. Oh sure, you find what looks to be like a rabbit. It,
And I will softly play a little song and talk to it and
all right,
get
Snow
it to
White,
come close.
you get it to come over.
And then I'm going, have you dealt with the Moon Maiden or the hag that lives on the Big Island?
It looks at you consideringly, and it's it just kind of it gives you a look like it doesn't it. Why would you think I do that? And no, you're getting the vibe that it's got no connection to the hag.
Okay. Is there,
A back door.
but I can't ask them for a backdoor because they're on this island and I will lay money that they have not been to the Big Island because
Yeah,
there's
are
water
they connected,
separated.
Joe? Are the islands connected, or do we have to like use a boat to get to the other island?
Um, Jareth
I mean, I'm
will
assuming it
tell
has.
you that they do have a it's like a ferry type thing that goes between a short distance between the two islands. It's kind of like a raft that's got a rope that's attached to it, and they just climb on the raft, put on the stuff from the gardens that they're bringing over, and then they just pull the rope until they get to the other side and unload it, and then pull the rope to get back to the other side. So they've got one of those. That is their attachment to the other island. It is about it goes across about what looks to be like about 150-foot expanse. So it is in essence these are probably it's probably one island that just goes down about 30 40 feet of water below the two, where it's kind of got a little bit of a bridge that's down, not to the complete depth of the lake, but except about 30 feet or so. So boats can't go through there, but it's definitely not something you can walk unless you can hold your breath for a long time.
Or have a
No.
ring that lets you walk on water.
Or I have a ring that lets you walk on water.
So I'll give them a little bit of food and ask them to keep an eye out for the gentlemen in red hats or anything odd. And if they see something, to come tell me. And they can just thump their leg on the ground, letting me know that there's trouble.
Okay, Thumper.
They're cute.
It takes the food that you left for it willingly, and it kind of goes running off into the brush.
Okay.
All right, so good news. Good news, everyone. Nobody died. You managed to make your way onto the small island. You have adequately hidden your boats, and
Hurrah!
you have found a new ally in your assault on the islands in Sir Jareth, and apparently a method of which you can capture and process the chaos winds into something more manageable, something with a bit of control over it. Jareth tells you that his duty is to stop the incursions of the winds, collect up the ones that he that are born into these cards, to formulate them into a deck and to keep them out of the hands of those that would use them to cause harm. So, if at some point in time the winds are gone for good and the land of Exandria is safe, then he will likely make his way back with whatever cards have been collected to put them under protective control. Back at he tells you that his order exists outside of normal space and time. So it would be involved going back across the astral sea to return them to where the head of his order could then put it under lock and key to prevent the powers of chaos and evil from going willy nilly with it.
As they bed down for the night, B will again, just give Keyleth a progress report. Hey, we met this guy from across the astral sea, and he captures the winds in these cool cards, and we're gonna go
She
help.
she takes note of the mention of the astral sea, and she says, I've been there. It's interesting." And he came to Exandria from there. Well, when you're done there, bring him over this way. I would appreciate meeting him. If you can't, I'll come your way. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But I appreciate you letting me know. Stay well. Keep your friends safe, and keep those young goblins safe. Oh my goodness, so young. I was never that. I may have been that young when I started. I was probably that young when I started. And she just kind of rambles off.
Yeah, B kind of falls asleep like listening to an audiobook.
Yep. So you have now got a card that can detect other cards, other winds.
Tracking device. Awesome.
It's a tracking device. Yes. Um, he's not entirely sure how it works, but he believes you can flip it once a day and tell where the winds are within your general vicinity.
And do you have to like turn your head and squint when you flip it?
That's not required, but sometimes it's suggestible. So
Noted.
he tells you that, and he'll start to tell you all tales about. He came to be a member of this order because um, his father had found a deck similar to the ones that are created from these winds that uh, uh, visited all sorts of torment on the family, and to gain the aid of the knights of this order to help him in correcting the course. Uh, he sent Jareth here to live with them, to learn from them, and to perform the tasks that they were doing for him for other folks. So,
Meta gaming a little. Was his dad Grog?
nope. His dad was not Grog. He's not a Goliath. He is a human.
Oh,
Also, he
okay.
doesn't come from Exandria. He comes from somewhere else.
Yeah, he said he came here via the Astral Sea, right?
Yep. So he's from an entirely different plane of existence or realm or planet. Yeah. So, all right. Um, so you're on the island with the red cap garden and the hag on the other island. So you've got 2 weeks of real time to figure out your plans or what you think you're going to be doing, and that would make it to the 28th of January. Will be our next gaming session. So with that, because we are at 9:16, we're going to get done a little bit early because we don't want to start anything too intense. And I kept you all over last game session, so we're going to make it up this time. So for that, we will then, for everybody that hung out with us, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Yes, indeed, you will start to see some things from the Book of Many Things start to enter into the campaign, as well as some more potential tie-ins for our heroes uh, of Southern Tal'Dorei, otherwise known as Tal'Dorei South, as opposed to Tal'Dorei North, which is on Saturdays. But for that, from everybody here at Border Kingdoms Adventures and the TTRPG Geezer, namely this old dude, uh, stay healthy, stay safe. For God's sakes, especially if you're in the Midwest, stay warm because it is freezing out there. And then roll some dice and have some fun. Just don't do it on my lawn, you damn kids. All right. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.